we are live, George.
Well, evening, everyone. Hope we're doing all right on this windy, freezing in some places Monday. Hope we're all doing well. What a time to be an Arsenal fan at the moment. It's can't complain too much. So I welcome my guests. Andrew, how we doing, mate? You all good?
Evening, George. Yes, 9 goals, 2 games. Delighted.
Yeah. Title race is over, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, awesome. After watching them in the first 30 minutes, Chelsea, I wasn't that worried, to be honest. But then we know what happened with that. Paul, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, made it back from Dagenham after my epic road trip to get there. So yeah, all good.
Cool. Talking about epic road trips, Kevin, how you doing, mate?
I'm great, mate.
Yeah,
Like I say, I'm switching into holiday mode already. So
yeah, you're off to Japan, aren't you?
oh yes.
Yeah, nice one. I wonder if they'll have the WSL on in Japan.
I'm intending to watch Sunday's games on YouTube if possible.
Just imagine you going into a pub saying you've got the Arsenal Man United game on.
not where the house is, no.
No, exactly. So,
it's out in the sticks.
Okay, nice one. And Mel, how are you?
I'm all right. I can't complain when both the men and women's team of the teams that I support and the team that I play for won over the weekend, and it could be worse. We could be sitting in 10th.
I don't know who that is.
As a wee dig for James, who I've noticed already in the on the comments.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Just do a quick shout out to Russell Martin. I think he's doing really good stuff up in Scotland. So, yeah. Talking about like proper teams in Scotland, Laura, how are you doing?
I could be better. I'm a bit ill, but I thought I'd pop myself on, get myself out of bed, and cheer myself up with a bit of banter.
Caught the Rangers virus.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hello to James. Apparently he's in the chat. Hope you're doing all right. Well, considered. Yeah, and then hello to everyone else. So we're gonna go into talking about the Arsenal West Ham game on Friday. I'll start with you, Paul, obviously, because you had a really nice journey, didn't you? So, yeah, I was gonna say, how was you feeling as you got to Dagenham? But you were probably knackered by then. But yeah, in terms of the game, what was your thoughts with? We saw a few changes, didn't we? Which I thought we was going to have to do a Where's Wally competition for Where's Chloe Kelly, because she just completely was, but then it looks like she picked something up, didn't it? So what's your thoughts going into the team, like the lineup and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, I say epic journey to get there. Over 4 hours to do a 2-hour journey due to the traffic on a Friday night round London. But yeah, got there just in time for kick-off, sort of about 10 minutes to go. And yeah, took a look at the team sheet. Really pleased that Katie Reid managed to keep her place at the back. Obviously, Chloe, we then realised she's got a little bit of a knock, but Beth's come in for her, and I think she played really well down that right-hand side. But it just shows that, going back a couple of years, we had a wonderful starting 11, but we didn't have the backup. Now, with the signings that we've made, if we do lose one of our top players, we've got another one that's there that can just come in and step in. So I don't think, going back a couple of years, you'd be worried if you lost one of them. Now you're not so worried, or you think, well, yeah, she's going to play this way this time, or going to be a slightly different change of play because you've got different players on the pitch, but they can all step in and do the job.
Yeah, cool. Just want to say hello to Ryan. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Dorian, hope you're good. Me and Dorian done double game duty this weekend, so that was good with Dorian. But we was at the Emirates, and that was bloody high. Like It was that high I could see. That's how high up it was. Then also we've got Catherine. Good to have you here. Ross, good to have you in here as well, mate. Brave as well. And yeah, appreciate all the chats as well so far. Please drop your what you thought about Friday's game as well. Laura, I'll come to you. So we saw Beth and Kate. Was it Caitlin? Yeah. Beth and Caitlin start obviously instead of Smith and Kelly. What was your thoughts going into that? Obviously, we now know why Chloe Kelly didn't feature, but was you happy with those changes?
Yeah, as you say, we didn't have that option of being able to choose who our wingers were going to be. Personally, I think if Chloe Kelly was fit, Caitlin Ford wasn't going to be starting that game. I think from the picture that was put out from Arsenal the night before, Beth was obviously on the front of it, which kind of gave us an idea that Beth would have probably been starting. But touching on Beth, I think Beth had a really good game when she was on the pitch. I think she made a few moves. Obviously, she got the assist on the first goal. I actually thought in the first 15-20 minutes, Beth was the only one that showed up, really. And Caitlin does what Caitlin does, and she pops up whenever she feels like it, I think, at the moment. So, yeah, I was happy with that lineup.
Cool. Andrew, I'll come to you. I was going to talk about Caitlin Ford. I thought in the first half, I don't think she was that great. But as the game went on, she kind of got a bit more into it. But I think once again, we'll go through the goals and stuff. But the substitutions seemed to tip us to change the game again. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely agree with your point about sort of Caitlin being quiet at all of our attacks. I mean, ironically, seemed to be going up the middle and featuring Frida. And as Laura says, Beth was. It seems like that's the direction of attack. I don't know whether that was planned or just whether West Ham were kind of directing us that way, but that was where they are. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the thing, to kind of echo about what's been said by Paul and Laura about the strength and depth now. The fact that we can bring on our substitutes, Ben, the five that we bring on. And I think that's the difference sometimes. That starting 11 wears them down. We switch it over and we get the five kind of fresh legs. And you've got to be kind of feeling sorry for people to a degree anyway. When Frida comes off and then Stina joins the attack, and we're replacing, and Vic Palova's coming on, and it's you can just see the strength and depth is going to be a massive thing. And I will hark back to kind of when I remember sort of last year when we lost at Chelsea. And our bench versus their bench, that was the thing. And now in the last 20 minutes, we're almost stronger than any team not almost. We are stronger than any team in the country in that. So I think that's the thing. And interestingly about Chloe, I wonder in as you were alluding to, Laura, I think in days gone pop by, would she just have to be played? Well, you've got to play because we haven't got any other wingers, and now we can afford to, maybe, I don't know, if it was only a minor knock, we can afford to rest her because, we're still bringing on a massive amount of players. I guess my only sidebar is having two goalkeepers on the bench and not Jenna Niswanger, and no mention of any injury for Jenna, but that's a mystery that will maybe become apparent later.
Yeah. So going into the game, we'll talk about the West Ham goal because I think it does need to be spoke about. So I had some very important views on this when it happened. So obviously we'll talk about Daphne Van Donsela. Have we got a picture, Laura?
There we go.
I hope it's not her dropping it.
It's not actually, it's a throwing it away, and that's not after the goal, actually.
No, that's fine. So I'm going to come to you, Kevin, because obviously I know you're probably more experienced than I am in this field. Obviously, it was disappointing with the goal. Obviously, she's gone to catch it. The ball's slippery. I'm not trying to be like Jurgen Klopp saying about the rain and stuff, but goalkeepers make mistakes, don't they, mate? But what my bigger issue is that there were certain people in the fan base was like, oh no, it's all right, don't worry. What my argument is, and Andrew's going to fall off his chair when I say this, if that was Manu Zinsberger, like the war sirens would have been going off, the air raid shelters would have been up and down. I tell you, surely it doesn't matter who the player is. If the criticism is there, surely it should be able to be said, even if it's about Van Donselaar. What's your thoughts, obviously, with Van Donselaar, with the mistake? Because that's what it was, wasn't it? Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah, it was a mistake. And it's a mistake I've made myself on more than one occasion, especially in those conditions. I mean, yes, I think it was the case. I think one or two of the commentators that I've seen got it right. She thought she'd got it and started to look to what she was doing with it next. And in that split second, it only takes a split second to take your eye off the ball. But to be fair, it was right up there in the corner. Full stretch. Yes, it's a mistake, but I'm not going to crucify fellow keeper for that. It happens. But I agree with what you say. If it had been Manu, there would have been a lot of people screaming blue murder. But to be honest, I don't think Manu would have tried to catch it. I don't think she'd have reached it. She'd have been trying to palm it away.
Yeah. Fair point.
I agree with that. Mel, obviously, we're talking about the mistake from Daphne, so I don't want to go on about it too much. But do you get obviously with the sentiment that obviously Daphne has made that mistake, but if that was Manu, it's like a complete different conversation, isn't it? Surely, as fans, we should be able to criticise whoever the player is.
Yeah, I think, like you said, if that was Manu, there would have been queues of folk outside the stadium waiting for the team bus after the game. Where it would have been like a picket line. There would have been signs asking the rip up the contract. They would have had to take an Uber, armed security, you name it. Like it would have been like them trying to get Taylor Swift in the NFL, the Chiefs NFL game last night. They would have had screens up behind so you couldn't see her. But no, I think at a certain point you do have to hold your hands up and say that it is just a mistake. I didn't see enough criticism over on it on Twitter. But again, I think, like we said, if it was Manu, there would have been far too much criticism over. I think as a fan base, we don't really toe the line of holding players accountable and being like, don't get me wrong, every keeper has at least one of them a season. You've seen it with a certain keeper who plays for a certain Manchester team in the men's game.
Good goalkeeper.
There's always people that are going to be like, oh, she should have done this, she should have punched it, or a defender or centre back should have given her a shout to let her know that there was nobody at the back post, this, that, whatever. That's all fine and well, but that rain was absolutely firing down. And it doesn't matter how much you try and prep as a keeper for that. You can dry your gloves as many times as you want. Once that ball's wet, that ball's wet. Yeah. And like Kevin said, she's obviously just had that split second where she thinks she's got it. She's just looked to see what she's doing next, and she's probably moved her hand the tiniest bit and it's just slipped. But I don't think it's worth crucifying her over. I think the way that she sort of picked herself up, and you even saw like Steph Catley and Emily Fox were straight over to her to pick her up. She dusted herself off, and for the rest of the game, I don't think she put a foot wrong. And I think that just shows the mentality of her as a player. And
I think you watch it back, it's a hard one, right? When you watch it back, her arms are too far back. So when she goes to catch it, her arms are too far back, which means I don't think she's actually realised how far the ball actually went. So, and the whole thing with Manu is we haven't seen Daphne make that many mistakes. I know we had the Liverpool mistake and then obviously that one, but I'm not making excuses of why she hasn't been called out yet. But I think where it comes to the sense of Manu being pulled up for what he does to Daphne doing what she does is we haven't seen her make that many mistakes yet for us to start criticising her, and I think that's a problem. We don't do it straight off the bat. We wait and build up and build up and build up, and then it starts to annoy the fan base, and then that's when it obviously, for me, explodes.
Yeah, I also think that there's some players as well, I'm not going to name names, we all know who, are painted with a certain brush and they can do no wrong in the eyes of anybody in the fan base, and God forbid you say they've made a mistake, you're getting crucified. Like, I think as a fan base we need to, not all of us, some people, select people who are big fans of certain players need to grow up and be able to hold their favourite player accountable when they've been shite and when they've made a mistake. And I think that there's people in the fan base that have their favourites and their favourites can do no wrong, and I just think, in my eyes, that shows a severe lack of footballing knowledge.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like if Sophie Harwood had a bad game, I would say. No, I agree. I just think sometimes you just have to comment on the game, what you see. If your favourite player makes a mistake, they make a mistake. I think ultimately though she's done it. She's saved us a lot more than she's made mistakes. Like, I know people could go back to the Liverpool FA Cup game, I think it was, where something similar, where I think bounced off the back of her head, didn't it? But it happens. But we did win the Champions League with her, so I think
one thing I won't agree with is many people in the comments are saying about how there was a tweet put out faulting Katie Reid for the goal and not the inexperience in her and not shouting that the ball was coming across. First of all, Katie Reid was nowhere in sight when that ball came in. It was Emily Fox that was in front of her, and she's an experienced player. So why didn't Emily Fox get called out for that? But again, it's not. As someone who watches football, as many of us do, and understand it, and not just for the sake of, as Mel said, supporting that one player, but no one's expecting that ball to come across. For me, it's a cross and not a shot. And that's not down to the supposed to shout at Daphne and say, "There's a ball coming."
She should be able to see it. Right?
Panic shout of "There's a white thing in the air."
Yeah. Is it a bird? Is it a ball? Is it
the floodlights? We'll never know.
But yeah, moving on to something positive now, because like we said, we don't want to focus on the negative. We'll talk about the best Norwegian in the world. And no, we're not talking about Erling Haaland. We are talking about, Paul, a certain Frida Mornham. Again, she scored. I think that's 4 in 3 now. But we saw her do this at the start of last season, I think, or at the start of the season. Do you think where we've got the bigger squad now, we're seeing the more options, so people like Frida can kind of accelerate with that and get those important goals and still be rotated at, like, say, something like half-time?
Yeah, I think having the deeper squad is making the players actually stand up and think, if I want to play, I've got to perform. Because, again, as I said earlier, go back 2 years ago, the starting 11 almost wrote itself. Whereas now you can, if someone's on a bit of a bad run, you've got someone else that can step in. You've got the possibility of making the changes at half time, as we saw on Friday, or even getting to like the 60, 70 minutes and we're 3-1 up. And you can rotate and make those changes. So I think for players like Frida, it's just making her think, I've got to perform, I've got to be there, She does run all over the pitch, and she does go unnoticed quite a lot, even in games where she doesn't get those goals. Her work rate, a bit like Alessia, is off the ball is 100%, but the way that Frida can get those goals sort of from the edge of the area, and she just takes those shots instead of kicking it around the box and trying to get the cross in and things that we do so often. I think, with her in that number 10 position, and the likes of Palova able to come on, or Stina can come on and drop a bit, go up front with Russo dropping deeper a little bit. There's so many different options there, so it works well, I think, for Frida.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just want to say hello to Margaret and Andrew, not you, the one on the show, the one in the chat. Yeah, and we do have men on the show this week. So yeah, we'll talk about Darren's probably favourite part of the podcast series, so he's probably going to get really, really excited here. It's a shame he couldn't come on, Darren, because he had it all teed up for you and everything. So we're going to talk about a certain Swedish striker called Stina. Have we got a picture, Laura?
There she is. Yep.
See, look, I'm even talking about Stina. I'll hold my hands up. I've not been a fan. And Andrew's like, he's edging, and he's like, but she is a game changer. I think this season we've seen for me a different Stina. Like last Lionesses, she came on, got a goal, she scored again. I think she scored 9 goals in about 8 games. One of them was the Champions League winner for Arsenal, not Chelsea.
The what?
Yeah. So apparently we're champions of Europe, so I don't know if Chelsea know that, but yeah, Andrew, Stina, floor's yours.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. There's something different about her this year, and you know what? Scoring the winner in the Champions League final might do a little bit for your confidence. So I think it's one of that. And again, she knows who she is. I think she's settled in that role of being kind of the second striker. She knows that it is, and she takes advantage of it. And she knows that Rene is still going to be going for the goals in those last 20 minutes, or even the whole of the second half this time around. And she just presents something different. I think that's the real good. Obviously she's really good at what she does, but is that she's totally different in the way she plays to Russo. And so when she comes on, it's just testing the striker, the defense should I say, and I think it's she's just a terrific player. I still got one eye on the end of the season when we've won the league, and whether she would want me moving on, whether we would even offer her a contract, which is a fantastic kind of problem to have. That when you get in Michelle, who seemed to play, started for Brighton, or at least was involved in their goal.
She did.
She was involved in their goal as well, and you can see that there's probably just no room for 3 strikers, but and I think George and I, we've often agreed that whilst we don't like Stina and coming on at the 9 and dropping Russo to the 10, we've got to admit it works. Whilst aesthetically it doesn't upsets us that we're putting Russo in the 9, it works. I think it's just emblematic of where we're at now. We've just got, the absolute theme is we've got a massive squad and they're all really capable. And I think that's what's terrifying for our opponents this year.
Yeah, but it's not been a secret about me, in my opinion, on Stina. I think, I don't know, Mel, if you agree, but do you think we're seeing more this season the Stina that plays for Sweden than the one we've potentially seen at Arsenal? Because she scored some very, very big, I wouldn't even say like team goals, very important club goals, because she'll go down in history for that. But I don't know, this season, like the start of this season, she just looks like a complete different striker to me.
Yeah, I think especially after the Champions League final, we've definitely seen that Stina settled into her role not as a starter. I don't think if you play her from the get go or try and get 90 minutes out of her that you're ever going to get the best of Stina. I think since Renee took over, I think she's sort of pushing Stina more to being the perfect impact sub, and I think she's proved that she is the perfect impact sub. Every game she's came off the bench, especially in games like the Champions League final where we're needing a goal. She comes on, and I think she reads the game really well. I think the way that she's been performing coming off the bench, I think from the sideline, the way that she reads the game across the whole pitch, she can pick a defence apart before she's even set foot on the field. And you see that in her movement and the way that she plays the ball and some of the passes she plays and the shots that she's taken and even the runs that she makes. I would say within the first 20, 25 minutes of a game, sitting on that bench, she's picked apart that back four, back five, back three, whatever the other team are playing. She's picked apart their weaknesses and she's looking at it going, I know exactly what I'm doing when I go on. And I think, especially in the women's game, there's not a lot of strikers who have that impact ability when they come off the bench. And I think right now, if you said to any coach, who is your perfect impact sub, when you're a goal down, you're chasing a game, or it's a draw, and you're trying to do everything to get 3 points, or you're needing one goal to come away with a trophy, I think Stina Blackstenius is the first name that would come out of a lot of people's mouths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kev, just obviously talking about Stina, I was saying earlier in the show, I thought when Stina come on, we saw a better Caitlin Ford as well. Would you agree with that? And do you think, obviously, is that because it become more transitional? Like, what do you think?
It's because we are second halves and all.
I thought you said that. I thought you said second half arsehole then. I'm not going to lie.
I must admit, at 1-1, there was a crowd next to me behind the goal.
Yeah.
I know I'm starting to worry about this now. And I just turned around and said, no need to panic. We are second halves and all. But I think it's a case of working out what the opposition are at. And then we just once we've worked it out, we just kick it up a gear and away we go. And everybody going forward later in the game, so, it was inevitable that we were going to stick a couple away. I mean, I know we left it a little bit late to polish it off, but yeah, it was never in doubt. The way we were going at it in the second half, and everybody was chipping in, doing their bit. And Caitlin Ford, when she's in full flight, she must scare the living daylights out of the defence.
No, I agree.
Awesome.
I do like Ford. Like, she was worrying me a bit, like in the first half, and I thought, I would have took off Ford for Smith. But what do I know? Like, I'm not arguing with the Renee Schlagers, the Champions League winner. So, Laura, do you have any comments?
Let me check. Darren said, I'm loving this segment. Can we do this every week?
If she scores every week, mate, then yeah.
Dorian says, Stina played well, but the game became very transitional and we were under far more pressure than the first game.
That's as much of a compliment as you're getting.
James says that Katie Reid in the back line cleans everything up and solid as always.
That's just because he don't like Leah Williams.
Don't start. You'll cause another divorce. It's already one.
Another one.
Yeah. Darren also said we all live in a Stina Wonderland.
He's going to try and start that as a song next, isn't he? Don't you dare try and change the words from My Kimmy to Stina, Darren. Otherwise, me and you have 50 cuffs, mate.
And also Andrew said, like the men's team, they're only going to get better.
Yeah, I agree. I did see a comment earlier that said that we've got 2 Norwegian central attacking midfielders, and I forgot that Martin Odegaard was one of them. So I ain't seen him do that for a little while. But yeah, I agree. We are only going to get better. Obviously, we've got a couple of toughish games coming up, but I still think we can get the 3 points in that. We had another picture, didn't we, Laura?
Yeah, we had the one and only player of the match, Alessia Russo.
Yeah. So yeah,
Russo again. Russo again.
I tell you, I was very, very relieved when Russo scored that goal, and then we got a penalty. Then they said, "Oh, Russo's going to take it." I was like, "Yeah, go on." My fantasy points were resting on the Russo's shoulders. Like me and my friend Jack even had a joke that she looked at me, pointed, and said, "I've got this, George. We need to get you up. We need to get you up that table. We can't be having you like talking of doing the podcast, being down the table." So yeah, Leslie's like my hero. Laura, we're talking about Leslie. I think like we was just saying about Stina, but we're seeing a complete, all-round complete striker with Leslie Russo. I think she's getting obviously she's been getting the goals, but it really does not get mentioned enough what she does on that pitch when she hasn't got the ball. What's your views on Leslie? Yeah, she's got to be one of the best strikers in the world, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a few Chelsea fans today, obviously, giving it the old, but Frank Kirby, Bunny Shaw, Sam Kerr and Vid Mediama have all been injured, blah, 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 the same old shit that they always spout. But we talk about it
Sam
often.
Kerr hurt her leg and fell over and been out for 2 years, so they can shut up.
I also have to say the Fran Kirby shout is wild. She's not been at her best in years. Where have you pulled that from?
Exactly. So it was. But we talk about it often. I've actually got a stat here. So obviously since her Arsenal debut in October 2023, only Khadija Bunny Shaw has been directly involved in more Bartley's WSL goals than Alessia Russo, which she has 34, Bunny Shaw has 38. So 26 goals, 8 assists, who was involved in the 3 goals in the league for the Gunners for the first time on Friday night. So yeah, like that stat alone just speaks for itself with Alessia Russo. And obviously signing the new deal was just even more spectacular. And it makes it even more better that we know that she's feeling happy and comfortable in the Arsenal setting. And as I say, that stat that I just read out speaks for itself for Alessia Russo.
Cool. Yeah, Paul, coming to you. Like, we've been very lucky at Arsenal recently, like to see some very, very brilliant goals. So we saw one from Olivia Smith, and then we saw one from Russo, didn't we? That first goal was world class for me.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. I think she needed it. She hasn't scored herself for a couple of games, and I think she just needed to get going and to score that goal, and then obviously score the penalty again a few minutes later. It's just sort of like I think she's just got the wake up there of right. I can score the goals. Now let's go and get a hat trick against Man United next week. And
first half, yeah,
first half. Yeah, we could sub her off at half time and game's won. But yeah, amazing goal from her. And yeah, the confidence just to shoot and do it. Amazing. World class player at the moment.
Yeah. And before we finish up on that bit, Mel, were you surprised she took the penalty?
No, not at all.
I thought you was just going to say no there and leave me hanging. I was like, thank
No.
goodness.
I think you could see that her confidence was at an all-time high on Friday night. I think the way that she was involved in naming off everything that was going on in the West Ham half. Like when you can visibly see that a player's playing with that much confidence, just give them it. I don't care who else is on the pitch. Give them the ball. Let them finish their night off.
Yeah.
I think as well, I've just been doing some Googling, some fact checking, whilst Laura was speaking about her stat that she had. And people can say whatever they want about Alessia Russo, but we've got a player just now who is not even in her prime. She's a few years off even hitting her prime when you look at the average age of the female footballers when they do hit the best of their careers, compared to the other people mentioned. Certain one who's near retirement and probably should have retired a while ago.
Is there not two near retirement in that mention that I made? So Sam Kerr and Frank Hubby.
But I don't think Sam Kerr is going to go anywhere anytime soon. But you've got, like, Alexia Putellas hit her prime, 28, 29 years old? So when she's getting all the Ballon d'Or shouts, she's coming home with the Ballon d'Or, stuff like that. Alessia Russo's only 26. That girl's got at least 10 years of football ahead of her. And I think the way that we've seen her just grow more and more as a player since she joined us, obviously we have got, from what we've seen, the talent coming out of the academies and that, we have got, I would argue, one of the best setups in women's football. Not just saying that as an Arsenal fan. I think there's no other team who are churning out young talent like we are. 10 years easily. I think we've got an absolute superstar in our hands there. She's great now. I think she's going to be even better in the next couple of years' time.
Nice. Cool. We'll go around and get who you thought your player of the match would be. I think it could be interesting, actually. I don't think it's as easy as everyone thinks. Kev, who's your player of the match?
I have to agree with the pundits. It was for me, Alessia. Just, it's not the goals, it's the work off the ball, the chasing she does. She's there's no such thing as a lost cause. She will run for everything.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice one. Laura?
This may shock Darren, but I'm going to go for Stina. I genuinely thought when Stina came on, the game changed for us. During, obviously, the watch along, the one thing that James said in the first half was bring Stina on, and so did Jack, because it was a game that we could get a ball over the top and Stina would run in behind. And to shock people even more, Stina was not even offside in that game, so that cheered me up even more, knowing that Stina has finally learned the onside rule.
Nobody was offside for the sixth goal as well.
This is probably Darren's best ever day watching a podcast. So
Darren's going to be watching this. He's going to be watching this episode back for months.
Yeah, he will. Like, it's probably when Darren gets to his 70th birthday, which ain't that far away. He'll be on the big screen and everything. So yeah. Paul, who's your player of the match?
Yeah, purely for her work rate, 2 goals, an assist, and work rate off the ball. It had to be Russo, but I do think as well, Kim Little had a fantastic game as well. She was just sort of running around everywhere.
Cool, nice. Andrew?
I'm going to go, and I thought I would be copying Paul here, but I'm going Katie Reid. Yeah, contextually, that's a second start in as a centre back, and up against that I'd say that West Ham front three is probably the best outside kind of like the Champions League chasers, and she's so comfortable on the ball, and I think the stat came up in the second half about the most progressive passes, and it was Katie Reid her distribution is excellent. She's like a taller, younger Leah Williamson. I thought she was terrific, and that as a 19-year-old, and again coming off sort of like that first kind of the first few minute wobble against London City. I think she's a terrific player, and I'm just so excited. And there's obviously the downside is people like Lotte not getting a look in at the moment, but it's a long season. But I just thought Katie Reid was terrific in everything she did, it'd be interesting when we get a fully fit Leah Williamson.
Yeah, my friend did say that Lotte's wearing the number shirt and minutes that she plays.
Oh wow, that's
But
cool.
yeah, I did find that funny. But yeah, it's a, like you say, we've got a good squad. I'm actually going to go for Beth Mead as player of the match.
Cool.
I thought she played really, really well again in the first half, and then she just seems to be like, well, I was saying in the crowd on Friday, we seem to have a bit more of a swagger about us since we won the Champions League, just for Gav, in case you didn't know. But since I don't know, like, we've seen Chelsea in the WSL put performances like that. Like, they go 1-0 down and then they just go bam, 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 bam. We've not seen Arsenal do that I don't think we've seen us do that for a while, not consistently. So seeing that against City Lionesses and West Ham, where supposedly is meant to be our bogey team, but maybe under Rene it's not now because we battered them. So yeah, so I'm going to go for Beth Mead just to surprise everyone a bit more. Cool. Do we have any comments, Laura?
Mark had just popped in. Mark,
yeah, Kyra had a really good game, Mark. Sorry.
Oh, mate. Come on, too soon.
I didn't say nothing about Kyra, though. Good player. Brilliant.
Really good at keeping her seat warm.
Well, I'm wearing a Tottenham scarf, but that's different story.
I can't speak. I sat on my arse for 82 minutes yesterday.
I was surprised at Kyra not getting on when was it Mariona went off, and
I did say this. Like, my thing is, like, I think I was saying to Dorian, Scott, and a few others, if Kyra is being built up to eventually replace Kimmy Little after she retires in 2087, then surely wasn't Fridays when we're 3-1 up, 4-1 up a time to bring her on? That was the only. But I'm not disagreeing with Renee. Renee, we trust in that. But I just I think if there was any better opportunity, it was probably there.
Yeah. Obviously, James has just said, "Morning, Mark. Give you a quick catch up. You've entered the glitch in the matrix. All seen positivity tonight."
Yeah, I'm waiting for James to start saying he likes Leah Williamson, then we know we've completely lost it all. I'm waiting for Rangers to win a game, then we know we're in a parallel universe.
What you can't see is that Darren's standing off camera in everybody's houses right now and holding us all at gunpoint.
And that's definitely
himself into 6. He's spread out up and down Scotland and England, and he's holding us up at gunpoint.
And he's running while you're doing that. But yeah, that's all the comments.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, obviously, really positive result on Friday. We go into playing Manchester United at their really, really big stadium in Lee. But obviously they've got a really important Champions League game. Is that Wednesday? Thursday, I think. Tuesday? Yeah, so obviously hopefully it's like 0-0 right to the last minute, and then like they have to really fight the whole night and go extra time or something. So they get tired. But yeah. We're going to move on to our giveaway. So the Wheel of Arsenal will be underway again. So I'm going to pass over to Laura.
So obviously the picture that's put up is what you have a chance to win. So I'll just go over to the wheel. 2 seconds, bear with me.
I wish I would bring on the wheel there, but I feel like I was showing my age, and B, not a lot of people would have got the reference.
So has it come up for everybody just to double check?
Yep, I can see it.
That lovely background in there. That's beautiful. That is. So I'll click it obviously, and then it'll announce the winner for us. And you'll never guess who it is. What?
Way! Kind of
It's-
ironic. Sorry, George, that was rude.
It's the Gunner Nick.
Yeah, nice one, Gunner Nick.
Everything.
He wins everything, mate. He's like, I don't know. He wins it on the Cannon and Jones's show. He wins it on all Ryan's channel. He wins it all. Don't know.
Friggin'
There's
good.
got to be a son in there somewhere. But yeah, well done, Nick. I'll get your details and we'll get that sent out to you.
Ryan's asking for a respin.
VAR. So we don't have VAR in the women's game. It's fine. So yeah.
Ryan's
So
always complaining about the competitions. I mean, he complained about Liam winning the cigar
yeah,
thingy on Cannon and Jones.
we need Ryan to turn into Howard Webb.
There's discourse in the group chat in the comments here. There's shouts of Jammy Bastard. There's shouts to get VAR in on this.
The final decision has been made. Stop arguing about it. Get on with it. If you want, there'll be plenty more giveaways where Nick will probably win the next 7, and then it'll either be Nick or Paul that win it. So it'll be fine.
When I do my one for my channel, I'll bar the Gunner Nick from mine, okay? So there is another clock on the way. So,
but yeah, so appreciate that, guys. Please continue to share and hit that subscribe button. It really, really helps. We're over 200 subscribers now, which is really good. So hopefully we can get to 300 soon. We'll wrap it up there. Just want to say thank you to my guests. So Paul, thank you, mate. Good to have you on again.
Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be back talking about the European champions.
Yeah, that's not
Just in
Chelsea.
case any Chelsea fans are watching and didn't realise that we were.
Yeah. Kev, thank you for coming on, mate. Really hope you enjoyed Japan as well.
Yeah, pleasure as always.
Yeah. How long you going to Japan for?
2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Nice,
So,
nice.
are you back for Villa, is it?
No. Villa's the middle weekend.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not back. My next game will be the Brighton game.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, hopefully see you there. Andrew, thank you for coming on. Brilliant as always. Will I see you at Villa?
No, I've
ridiculous.
family duties, babysitting my grandson, and then taking my daughter to see Pierce the Veil, whoever they may be.
Oh, that's not a concert I thought I would ever see you at, Andrew.
Port Vale?
Yeah, if Port Vale are like Pierce the Veil, they're noisy. They're noisy boys.
that's really funny how you just mentioned Port Vale. I have currently just handed my resignation to them in Football Manager.
Oh, right. I was
okay.
going to say, you had me going there. It's like, wait, didn't realise you were like that.
There's a couple of us that have resigned in the last 2 weeks. So yeah. Okay, have fun, whatever that is.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Mel, thank you for coming on. Hope to see you soon. Is it Chelsea?
Hopefully, as it stands, I have a free weekend sooner, but as soon as we got knocked out of the cup and we were on the bus home, I was like, oh, let me have a look. It's international break. Shock. So
No.
the Chelsea game's looking favourable. I think I have a home game on the Sunday, and the game's currently a 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday. So
Okay. Cool.
unless somebody somewhere hates me and decide to make it the Friday, I will be there.
Cool. Nice. But yeah, thank you for coming on. And then Laura, thank you as always. Thanks for doing the giveaway as well.
You're very welcome. You're lucky I never phoned in sick because that's the way I'm feeling tonight. So, and then I realised actually I have the wheel to do. I've got pictures to put up. You demanded a lot of me tonight, but at least it went.
Exactly. At least I know you can work under pressure.
I tried.
But yeah, thank you. So yeah, we'll be back. We're going to have a show again this week. You're absolutely spoiled this week. So we've got another collab show with the one and only Jonesy, where we're going to preview the Man United game. So definitely give that a watch. And yeah, and we'll see you on Friday. But everyone have a lovely week and all take care. Goodbye.